Hello and welcome to another one of our videos. This is our 2018 BMW M140i Shadow Edition. This car's covered 18,666 miles or thereabouts with full dealer history. The car has a really lovely spec on it. It's been detailed and machine polished all around the bodywork. So we've used a rotary mop and an orbiting mop which oscillates around as it spins to create this beautiful shine on the car. The car's finished in black sapphire metallic. You can see that really glossy finish on the paintwork there. So the Shadow Edition gets the black gloss front grills. Also, if we look down at the LED lights here, inside down at the bottom here, they're usually in silver, but on this they are finished in the black. There's a strip that runs along there. So it's just trying to give a much darker, shadowy sort of finish on the car, I guess. We've got the darker anthracite alloy wheels as well. So if we come in and look at the alloys, they're in the darker anthracite colour with M Sport brakes. Car's running on Super Sport tyres, the Michelins. It's the rear wheel there. And if we come up onto the roof, it's very bright in here today. It's very sunny outside, so you see that there's no scratches, no bird dropping marks, and no tree sap stains on the paintwork. Bird droppings and tree sap on paintwork in the sun can damage the paint, and there's none of that on the car. So just come back out. Now this car has the adaptive M Sport suspension. So there are different shock absorbers on this car. It's an option. And when it's in Eco Pro or Comfort, the car will run softer on the suspension. The shock absorbers relax, and the fluid is adjusted on the shock absorbers to allow for a smoother ride. Whoops, just fell against the wall. And then when you put it into Sport or Sport Plus, the shock absorbers will stiffen up to give you a much sportier ride. Come in and look all around the filler cap there. You see there's no scratches on the car. We've got the sun protection glass at the back. The rear lenses are also smoked on the Shadow Edition. Now this isn't standard, but the previous owners opted to put a black M140 badge on the back. We've got rear parking sensors. For some reason the lighting in here keeps changing quite a lot. I think it's because we're looking at a black car. Now if we come down and have a look at this exhaust, this has got the BMW M Performance exhaust on it with the carbon tips. Now these tips alone are £400, so it's an expensive system. If we look up underneath the car, you can see, oops, this is just up down under here, it has got the M Performance box on it. And what we have noticed as well is it's had a rear exhaust, a centre box delete. One of the boxes has been deleted to give it a much nicer sound. It's a bit noisier, but when we start it up in a minute, you'll see that for yourself, hear that for yourself. It sounds pretty awesome to me. Might not be for everybody if you've got a lot of neighbours, but it certainly sounds great. We've got the HARMAN KARDON sound system with additional speakers. We've got the Pro Nav, we've got speaker up on the top there, speakers under the seats, and some more speakers in the back. All of the door cards in lovely condition. Got the lighting, the puddle lights under there. All of the leather is in really nice condition. Just try and keep that in focus. You can write on the top of the iDrive wheel, just down here, to put in your destinations. We've got the ZF gearbox, the 8-speed gearbox, the heated seats. The navigation is all touchscreen. We've got cruise control, speed limiter. We'll show you all that in a second when we come round. In fact, it's a free door, so we won't be coming round to the back door because there isn't one. So Dan's going to come round and start the car up in just a second. So all the seats in the back, got the drop down headrest as well. Let's open up the boot and take a look in here. Notice all round the top and all up round here. If you just give me 1 second, Dan, before you start it. No damage up here. So, like I say, all really nice and clean in there. Okay, let's just pop the boot down. So, like I was saying, not the standard M Performance exhaust. Just show you this door card, all nice and clean. We've got extended storage just under there. All of the leather on the seat, all in nice condition. We'll jump in. We have 16,822 miles. That was the mileage on the car. And being that it's the facelift, if you go through the BC button, it displays the oil temperature on there as well. Got your mode button just here. Go through all your DAB. This is the full black panel display. Speed limiter and cruise control. And if we come over here, get this back in focus, there we go. We've got heated seats, dual climate control, touchscreen navigation, got this urge to like press the accelerator. It's really addictive, that sound. Address input. Don't know where that is, but we can write on the top of the iDrive wheel. P-O-R. And then it'll bring up the destinations, etc. there. If we go back into map, we're looking in, if we press number 7, whoops, down here, there we go. We can save this window. If we go over to the sub menus, this is where you can put the driver information in, destination, routes, etc., map views. So if we want to save perspective, which is this view, you can put that on number 8. And so just to press of a button now, press number 7, it'll change the view, go back to number 8, it'll change the view back. You can put your telephone numbers of, you know, your mum, your girlfriend, your wife, whoever it might be, in these numbers down here as well. Radio stations as well, so gives you quite a lot of choice as to what you can do. We've got the media, We've got the DAB, FM, online entertainment, the remainder of that. So I think you can, when your phone's linked up, you can get Spotify, etc. in there. Music collections, the hard drive, your CD, and then your iPhone USB. And this is where you can adjust the sound. So you've got the bass up there, etc. This is all for the HARMAN KARDON sound system. If we go across, connective drive, okay, so they haven't paid for any subscriptions in there. We go into my vehicle. This is where you'll see all the sub menus on the right. You can flick down through there, different driver profiles, vehicle status, tyre pressures and temperatures are displayed in here. And if we go into service items, it would have had its PDI check, this one here, or pre-delivery check, oil and filter in this one. And if we come out of there, it's due for its brake fluid change, which we're just about to do. The oil is due, well, it's got 16,000 miles to run, but it's coming up in August, so we're just going to do the oil change early, because it's not really done the mileage, but it's due on time. They're every 2 years, so we'll just make sure everything's up to date. We'll check on the front brake pads to make sure there's plenty of life left in there, so the brake pads are all there as well. So we'll come out of there. The notification is just for the brake fluid service, which is due. Okay, we've got the sliding armrest, sliding panel down here for the cup holders. We've got a USB in the center armrest. All your shortcuts on the iDrive here, and like I say, this is where you write with your finger on the top. Now, this is the ZF gearbox, the 8-speed gearbox, probably one of the best gearboxes on the market and the most reliable. Bring it back into sport. Let's just take this handbrake out of the way. That's a normal drive. You'll notice it's in normal drive, just down in the bottom of the clock there, it's in D. Let's flip it down into comfort. So when the gearbox, you have sport on the gearbox, which is over to the left. You'll notice this has gone to S1 up on the top there. So basically this will hold the gears down by a gear or two, depending what speed you're doing. And when you kick the throttle down, it will change down quicker and hold the gears for longer. You then have the driver mode settings. So you've got Eco, Comfort, Sport. So if we go into, let's get this into focus. Now this is where the adaptive M Sport suspension comes in. So in Eco Pro or Comfort, the shock absorbers are basically sort of a balanced soft setting. As soon as you go into Sport, now they all have this window that shows you, if you see the suspension is highlighted in red in the picture. All of the M140s have this picture. However, unless you've got adaptive M Sport suspension, it will not change the ride, because it's just a straightforward shock absorber. It has to be the adaptive M's because they've got the valve. I think it's a valve. Some of the shock absorbers out there that have like dynamic suspension, they have a magnetized fluid and it changes the, I guess, the viscosity of the fluid, which allows it to travel through a valve different speeds. I think on the BMW, a valve allows fluid either side of it to create a stiffer or a softer ride. So in the sport modes, the ride is stiffer and the handling is better, so not as wallowy. And again, when you're on a bumpy road, especially if you've got someone with you in the passenger seat, you want a bit more comfort. It's a long trip, put it into comfort, or you can go into the sport setting and take out the transformation of the chassis. So you can have it in sport still, but leave it in the comfort setting. So you've got the best of both worlds there, so you can have a bit more comfort. I think we've gone through everything we need to on there. We've got the heated seats as well. The brushed aluminium trim with the black gloss finisher. It's all nice and clean down here. We've got the paddle shift up on the top, plus and minus. And let's put the music on. I don't know what's going to be playing. So the sound system's really nice. It fills the cabin. The standard stereo system on the BMWs is pretty weak. It's a bit hollow sounding, doesn't really fill the cabin with, you know, depth of sound. So really worth having the HARMAN KARDON and having a Shadow Edition. So let's take a look under the bonnet. So there's 2 pulls to lift the bonnet. I obviously didn't pull it the second time. So there we go. I thought I pulled it twice, but hey ho. Right, so here's the engine bay. Now we used to dress our engine bays with a product from Autogleam, but we're being more and more conscious with the amount of silicone that we use. So it's all really nice and clean, but maybe not as shiny as some of the other videos. It's the more natural look under here. The silicone does get everywhere in the showroom and it can make our floor a bit slippery, so just being a little bit more conscious lately not to use it if we don't think we need to. But it's all been cleaned really thoroughly. We used a lot of WD-40 to clean around the engine bay, which is a nice safe product to use under here. So this engine is quoted at being 335 brake horsepower, but they actually make about 351 roughly on a rolling road. So they're underestimated by the BMW statistics. It's a straight 6 engine. The twin power turbo is like a dual cool turbo, so it sort of splits the gases going into the turbo for better response. There's much less lag on a twin power turbo or dual cool turbo. If you opt for a Celtic remap that we do, that will take the brake horsepower on this up to about 431. So you're looking at the same power output as an M2 competition, and it's a really safe map. Before I end the video, I am just going to blip that throttle one more time. Now it's warmed up a bit. And that's only using about a quarter of the throttle. It sounds awesome. Well, thank you for taking the time to watch the video. This is just one of the M140s we've got in stock. We've got a grey one as well, and another black 5-door one. So we've just sold the sunset orange one, but hopefully we'll have some more along soon. We've got a really nice M240 as well, in white with black wheels, and we've just done a few different things with that car. I think we've had the roof done black gloss and the trims and the mirrors. Thanks for watching. Have a great weekend, enjoy the weather, and give us a call. Take care. Bye.